Hey guys, Brian with the Seat Shop. Raul and Hunter did the disassembly on the Ford Transit. I'm going to show you how to put all the new covers on. So this is the 15 and 19 Transit. We'll start with the driver's side bottom. We got a new foam on here. I know Raul talked about putting a new foam cushion in. It makes a big difference getting the new foam in there. This one's in a lot better shape than the other one, so we didn't spend time doing repair on the other one. So this cover is going to hook on with Velcro and hog rings. We've got two hog ring strips that go across the middle, and then the Velcro that runs vertical, forward and back. So to do this, what I'm going to do is fold. Let me take leave it on. I'm going to fold this in half, basically. So I'm going to line it up over my first horizontal seam that goes here. So that's going to be this hog ring strip there. We'll grab my hog ring pliers. There they are. Hog rings. Okay, now I'm going to line the cover up, fold this back. I'm looking at my Velcro seams here to make sure that this thing is not too far left or right, make sure it's centered pretty well. And then I'm going to center it over that hog ring strip. There we go. Then I'm going to take my hog rings, crimp that on. The hog ring is just basically a big metal staple. So the hog ring pliers just have some grooves in the ends of the pliers, so that when you that way the hog ring will hold it, will sit in place. Then when you crimp it, it bends it into like a triangle, so it holds the bar that's sewn into the cover, hooks it into the bar that's molded into the foam cushion to hold them down to each other. Not too many on this one. I think it's going to be like 6 total rings on the bottom. Okay, that's that. I'll take the foam off. There's some more across the back. So we got 3 hog rings to be at the very back. It's going to be just not much room to work with the foam still in the frame, so I'm just going to pull that out. Okay, now with the hog rings on, we need to get the Velcro set. Just basically pushing down to make sure it adheres to the Velcro good. Other side. Okay, those are on. Now I'm going to roll the corners. Always start with one, either front right or front left, either one. Put my fingers on the seam line on the inside, and then hold the foam here with the other hand pushing in, and get that to roll over. This is a pretty shallow cover, so it's not that difficult to roll over. Some other ones that are real thick, it's a little bit more involved to get it to roll, but this is pretty shallow, so it's not that bad. Okay, so we're on there. Now we get to wedge this back into the frame. So there's a couple clips on the back. These J clips that are sewn on, we're going to need to lead with those first, kind of nose dive those through underneath the seat top through the frame, and then that way we can grab a hold of something and pull this thing through. So there's these 2 flaps on the side too. These 2 guys, make sure that they're underneath. We don't want to get them all crazy because we're going to hook those on later on. So we'll feed this through. Okay. Now the back of the foam's got a lip to it. It's got to go up over the round bar across the back. So now that I got the clip through, I can pull here to keep some tension back on it. But I'm working that foam cushion to make sure it goes over the big metal bar in the back. There we go. That makes sure it's all the way back. You can always double check to see if you've got it all the way back, to see if at the very front, because you get the metal pan here, then the foam, they should line up. I mean, it should just slide on it just right. If there's an inch or two of separation between this frame and the inside of the foam, then you know it's not all the way back enough. But if they line up right, you know you got it seated all the way back. So that looks good there. Back looks good. Okay, now we're going to start with our clips. So we got one clip across the front here, and then we got one on the side and one on the side. So these roll over. So it looks kind of funky because it doesn't just have a hook that goes around and hooks on the frame. The hook goes over and does a complete roll over and pushes back up into the frame. So it's the same way it came off. Okay, so there, I'll roll it over, and then it pushes back up. So you should see vinyl all the way to the front edge, all the way back around all the way underneath. Now, move to the side, does the same thing on both sides. There's a little bit less room to work on this side here because you got this metal bar in the way. If it gets way in the way, I mean, there's two little torque screws, you can pull it out, but you should be able to get around that. There we go. That snapped on real nice. Same thing over here. Roll. There we go. Clipped on. Perfect. Front's clipped. Everything's good. Okay, now we'll flip to the back. So on here we got the clips here. These clips are going to pull forward and hook onto the plastic. There's that. Now we also got these two little flaps. These are the ones I said to make sure we tuck on the inside when we're putting the cover on, or putting the foam and everything back onto the frame. So we're going to cut these. Have those little push tab deals here. So it's got a two-part clip. If it pulls it all the way out, there's a little tab that pushes in. So this is kind of like a little Christmas tree tab-ish. It'll go through the hole in the frame, and then the little button will push in to lock it in. So we're going to stretch this piece, this little black tab, over one of the holes. I'll make a little poke a hole with my scissors. There we go. Then I'm going to stick this little tab through it. Push it in the hole, then push the tab in. It locks it in. There we go. Next one, let's get a shot of this. Come around here. So here's the little push tab. So it's got, this thing slides in and out. So when it's pushed in, it locks it in place, but that pulls out, okay? And we're going in these holes. So here's our black material. We're going to stretch it. Here's the hole we're going to go to. We're going to stretch over that and just poke a hole about there. And there we go. And we're going to feed this clip through the material into the hole, and then to lock it in, just push that in, it locks it in. There we go. So that's what we got on that. Yep, let's get on that. All right, so we get that on there, little do-on tabs locked on. We'll flip this thing back over. Let's see. Okay, cover's looking good. Okay, next thing we got, let's go and put all of our trim panels on. Let's do that next. So here we go. We'll start with the big panel on the side. All right, we need screws. 2 screws at the end. We'll start with this. So this panel goes on the side here. So here's our tabs. You got a tab here where, actually it's not really a tab, it's got a little slot in it, and these metal parts go into it. So there's one here, and one here. So this will start out forward, and pull back into those slots, and then we got one push connection right there, that little quick connect that locks it in. So we're going to start forward. I'll probably tilt it on its side, make it a little easier. Okay. So we'll line these guys up. Okay, that pushes down. There we go. Come on back. There we go. You'll know you got it far enough back because you got the hole on the side right here where the recline knob goes. Make sure that the metal post is right in the center of that hole. That way you know you got it far enough back. If you don't see that post, or if it's all the way to the front of it, you need to make sure you keep pushing it back. So that looks like we're pretty good there. Okay, now there's going to be a couple screws in the back. Yep, okay. These are our Torx T25, these two screws. There we go. When you screw these back in, if you're using an impact or something, make sure you turn the torque way down on it, because it's all plastic, threading into plastic. Tighten it too much, it's just going to strip it out. So either do it by hand or set your setting way down on your impact or your drill. Or get it all the way, most of the way in, and then finish it up with a hand drill, hand screwdriver deal with a Torx bit on it. So don't torque them hard, because it'll strip it out in a flash. There we go. Those two. We got another piece. This little guy here. So this guy's got. Let me show you a close up of that. Hooks at the bottom, so these two hooks, and then the top down's got these latches. So this is gonna push straight down. So you're gonna hook the bottom first. It's gonna start up high, but this little rim right here is what these catches are gonna go into. There we go. Make sure we're up above, down, and just push it down. Simple as that. Really easy. Line those up. Okay, next we're going to grab our recline knob. So this has got the little retainer clip on it as well. Let me show. This guy comes off. You can set this back on whenever you pull it off. You can set this clip. So here's the clip. This thing pulls off straight up. Right here, so there's your clip. The clip goes from the top down. So when you have it off, you pull it off to be able to take this off, but then go ahead and reset your pin, because whenever you put it back on, you can just push it back and it'll snap into place. So go ahead and set that ring first, and then you can just literally push it back onto the frame. You'll be good to go. I'll get my little needle nose, get this little guy on. There we go. Okay, cool. Now this guy will just pop on. Easy as that. Snaps on. Okay, we got a side panel on the other side. Okay. So just like the other side, only two catches. So there's two slots that the metal posts slide into. So we'll line those up. Goes in the back. Same two little screws in the back T25s. So we have to get the seat belt through this guy. Let's see here. Ooh, that's sharp. There we go. No blood yet, so we're good. All right, now it might be easier to get this guy up. See if we can flex this thing in. Yeah, we're gonna have to get it that way. Actually, come on. Let's see. Okay, so now that we're around that guy, let's see if we can pull this enough forward for our pieces here to line up. Okay, there we go. There's a pretty clear shot through the side that you can see for those two tabs to line up to slide in. So that's good. Let's pull this back, make sure it's around here. Let's come back a little bit more, it seems like. There we go. Okay, now we'll get our two screws again. T25. Okay, there we are. Okay, now that's on. So now our side panels are on and good to go.